Uptown with the latest on this.
Plus rainy roads this morning. Tracy has the wet weather timeline as we get going this morning on a Tuesday.
Live from Chicago's #1 news, ABC7 Eyewitness News at 7 starts streaming now.
Hey everybody, good morning. I'm Terrell Brown.
And I'm Val Warner. We're back together for the first time in 2023.
Yes.
This is our first time together?
It feels like it's been a long time.
It has. It's been a long time. And kudos to you for Saturday night. If you missed it, countdown.
Anyway.
You got to get into work. Okay, but right now, we do have some wet weather. I mean, we got to catch up. Give us a little time here. We do have a lot of wet weather out there for you to contend with this morning. Not as bad, though, as last night into overnight, though. Right, Trace?
Right. Hey, Val, you were part of that New Year's Eve broadcast as well.
Exactly, dear.
Tracy,
Yeah,
thank you.
well, you were.
Yeah.
Yes. Kudos to you and to Roz and Terrell, certainly. Well, this morning, yeah, we don't want to give attention to this, but we have to. It is the rain. We had heavy rain overnight. Now it's trailing off. Now it's going to be more nuisance, kind of off and on showers and drizzle, even this afternoon, too. Now, over to Roz.
You gave a holiday shout out in that special, too. So I watched the whole thing and you were there. So, yeah, we were all a part of it. Right now, we're talking rainy traffic, and we start in Northwest Indiana. This is an overturned truck. Well, it kind of tipped on its side. In Northwest Indiana, westbound 94 at State Road 249. Here's the picture from Indiana State Police Sergeant Glenn Fifield. He said that this is a half-empty donut truck. And he also said there were a lot of police officers there. Yeah, but it's not causing a huge delay, and I'm quoting him on that. On the Illinois side, travel times 25 to 35 minutes. It's not as bad as it could be, Val and Terrell, with the rain that we did have pass through this morning.
Yeah.
Right. Thank goodness the traffic is light out there, Russ. Thank you.
I want to get back to that breaking news we've been talking about in the prayers this morning for Damar Hamlin.
The Buffalo Bills safety is in critical condition at last word this morning after collapsing on the field during yesterday's game against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bills confirming overnight Hamlin did suffer cardiac arrest after taking a hit. And Diane Pathy was joining us with the very latest information on this. Diane.
Val and Terrell, it really was a shock to not just the players and staff on the field, but to the fans in the stands as well. Hamlin's injury took place in the first quarter. That game then postponed by the NFL after he was hit and then collapsed.
This morning, prayers for Damar Hamlin.
We will all be doing a lot of that.
The 24-year-old Bills safety collapsing on the field in the first quarter after a tackle. The team releasing a statement overnight saying Hamlin suffered a cardiac arrest following a hit in our game versus the Bengals. His heartbeat was restored on the field.
So did you guys notice the
is currently sedated
pictures
and
we were
listed
using
in
on
critical condition. We decided not to show the play, but a Bengals player rammed into Hamlin at full speed, appearing to hit him in the head and chest. Hamlin quickly stood up, took 2 steps, and then collapsed. Players were visibly distraught, some crying, others having to look away as medics performed CPR for several minutes before rushing him away in an ambulance to UC Medical Center in critical condition.
CPR, or cardiopulmonary resuscitation, is the action of pushing on the chest in a rhythmic fashion to generate blood flow. And it's only done for one thing and one thing alone, which is cardiac arrest.
A show of unity as players formed a prayer circle around Hamlin as medics worked, and now questions as to what led to the collapse.
Right now, it's impossible to tell. There are types of sudden cardiac arrest caused by arrhythmias that could happen after a hit, but they could also happen to someone sitting on the sidelines. There's other types of cardiac arrest that occur after blunt force trauma to the chest.
The Bills posting a montage of well wishes for Hamlin. Fans have also been donating to a fundraising site that Hamlin recently posted to raise money for a toy drive.
3rd annual toy drive, man. We're doing it for the kids, having a good time, man. So let's get back to it.
That site had a $2,500 goal, quickly topping millions of dollars overnight.
After he was rushed to the hospital, the stadium in Cincinnati, along with several buildings around it, lit up blue and red, a tribute to Hamlin and the Buffalo Bills. Val and Terrell.
All right, Diane, appreciate it. Thank you. And many fellow NFL players and teams in the sports world are offering prayers and condolences this morning, or prayers and support this morning, including the Chicago Bears sending thoughts and prayers. The simple message here, prayers up from Justin Field and offensive lineman Larry Borom. Early this morning, an NFL executive vice president told reporters on a conference call that Hamlin's health was the focus and there were no plans to play this game right now. Fans quietly left the stadium last night. The unfinished game has major playoff implications. The NFL is heading into its final week of the regular season with the wild card playoff round scheduled to get going on January 14th. Much more on this throughout the day, and any new news that we get on Damar Hamlin's health, we'll bring it to you as we get it in. And we'll have updates on Hamlin's health, both on air and online, at ABC7Chicago.com.
Breaking overnight, there's been a deadly hit and run on Chicago's South Side. Police say the driver of a 2013 white Dodge Durango killed a man at a crosswalk in the 7900 block of South Lafayette shortly after 10 last night. 4 to 5 people ditched the vehicle at the scene and ran away. Police say no one is in custody.
Today, hundreds of workers at Howard Brown Health are planning to strike in Chicago over what they say are unfair staffing issues and labor practices. Stephanie Wade is live in Uptown with more on this morning. Stephanie.
Terrell, good morning. In just a few hours here, workers will be demonstrating in front of several Howard Brown Health locations across the city, including this one here, in what will begin a 3-day strike. Preparing their signs just yesterday, hundreds of staff say they're protesting over what they call unfair labor practices. Howard Brown Health moving ahead with its proposed workforce reductions to close a $12 million revenue shortfall. Union members say the LGBTQ+ focused health organization is already short-staffed, and job cuts will only further compromise care for those who need it most. Julian Modugno is one of dozens of workers who was laid off.
We have shown up to bargain in good faith every time. All of us that were on the layoff list were locked out of our computers and emails on Friday afternoon.
In a statement, a Howard Brown Health spokesperson says, quote, Howard Brown will continue to provide patient care and services regardless of the strike. In the event of a work stoppage by unionized employees, Howard Brown will implement a contingency plan. Again, at 9 o'clock, more than 400 workers are expected to protest at locations across the city. We'll be here at the Sheridan location on the north side and have much more coming up on the news at 11. Val and Terrell, back to you.
All right, Stephanie Wade, thank you. Also happening today, it is the first day of the new Congress. Republicans are set to take control of the U.S. House. GOP leader Kevin McCarthy is still short of the vote that he needs to clinch the speakership. ABC's M. Wynn is live in Washington with more on this. M.
Yeah, Val, McCarthy has a slim margin for error, which has emboldened a handful of Republican colleagues to push for more reforms. It could be a preview of the challenges that lie ahead for him if he is elected Speaker.
This morning, a new Congress is set to convene with Republicans taking control of the House of Representatives. But there's still much uncertainty over the vote for Speaker. With only 4 Republicans to spare, GOP leader Kevin McCarthy of California is struggling to secure the votes he needs to clinch the gavel. 5 conservative members already said outright they won't support him. And even as McCarthy makes some concessions, including making it easier to remove him from his post, 9 others remain unconvinced, sources say. Representative Bob Good on Fox News.
I suspect 10 to 15 members will vote against him.
If McCarthy isn't initially elected, the quest for Speaker could extend into multiple rounds of votes, something that hasn't happened in a century. Despite that, McCarthy appears confident, his staffers spending the day moving his belongings into the Speaker's office.
Are you prepared to make more concessions in exchange for more support?
I hope you all have a very nice New Year's.
Meanwhile, McCarthy will need a yes vote from George Santos, the congressman-elect from New York who faces new legal trouble after admitting to lying or embellishing details of his career, college, and Jewish ancestry. Prosecutors in Brazil say they are reopening a 2008 criminal case against Santos for allegedly paying for goods with a stolen check. The case was suspended until now because police could not find Santos. It's on top of multiple investigations against Santos here in the U.S. Despite scrutiny from both sides of the aisle, top GOP leaders have largely remained silent, and Santos has refused to step down.
And the vote for Speaker is expected at around noon today here in Washington. The House won't be able to conduct any other business until the Speaker is elected. Back to you.
All righty, M. Wynn in Washington this morning. M, thank you. There's a hearing happening today for the suspect arrested in the murders of 4 University of Idaho students. 28-year-old Brian Koberger is not expected to fight extradition from Pennsylvania. That's where he was arrested Friday at his parents' home. His attorney says his client is eager to be exonerated. Investigators have asked for information about Kohberger from anyone who knows him. They've gotten 400 calls to a tip line within the first hour of that request. The bodies of the 4 students were found November 13th. Back here at home, one lucky couple has won Cook County's first marriage license of 2023. Cook County Clerk Karen Yarbrough held a drawing last night. I don't know. You know what? Words are tough at this time of morning. Right. Daniel Ferguson and Mandy Fila will exchange their vows later on today. Several businesses have donated wedding gifts.
Yeah, it kind of got away from you in the, the prompter. So
just couldn't figure out that one word.
It's all
that
good.
one word makes the sentence work.
Right.
Anyway.
Well, guess what? Your live and local news is just getting started as we stream out loud this morning. Coming up, thousands pour into Vatican City to pay their last respects to Pope Benedict XVI. We are live in Rome as mourners gather again today at St. Peter's Basilica.
First, though, Tracy's got your AccuWeather forecast, the soggy start to the day. How long you'll need the umbrella. Tracy's forecast is on the way.
Good morning to you. Well, during the overnight hours, we had very heavy rain in the area, and that collected itself and resulted in a lot of ponding on some areas. And Roz has been talking about that. The rest of the day, it's going to be occasional light rain and drizzle. I don't think we add a whole lot more to our rain gauges today, but we are going to see still a big range of temperatures. Areas north of I-80 using that benchmark, probably staying in the 40s, maybe 50 at best if you're in Lockport or Homer Glen. But south of I-80, you have a good chance to get to near 60 degrees. Here's live Doppler 7 Max. And right now in the city, we're getting a little bit of a break. But there is more light rain just out to the west. This is going to continue to move to the east and northeast. So we're going to get clipped with additional light showers here in the city yet this morning. So far, look how much rain has fallen, about 9/10 of an inch of rain. This is all since midnight out at Midway, over 8/10 out at O'Hare. Roz?
We are looking at a fairly decent rush hour, all things considered. We're looking at travel times anywhere from 25 to 35 minutes, a little bit more than that, maybe closer to 38 on the inbound Stevenson, but no new crashes on the expressways. We've had everything happening in the suburbs off the expressways, and this is new. In Glenview, we have a crash at the intersection of Glenview and Greenwood Roads. Now, earlier this morning, we had a situation with malfunctioning traffic signals in the Willowbrook area at 63rd and Route 83. They're still not functioning properly. And look at this long delay northbound on 83. It's backed up from Plainfield Road to the intersection at 63rd. Tollways, everything there is fine. Take a look at the Tri-State at Irving Park in that construction zone in the O'Hare corridor. Pavement's still a little damp, but the rain for the most part has stopped up there and traffic's moving well. We'll have another check for you in about 10 minutes or so. Val and Terrell.
All right, Roz, thank you. Right now, Pope Benedict is lying in state for a second day at the Vatican. The Vatican says some 65,000 people filed past the retired pontiff's body yesterday. ABC's Mike Marza is live in Rome with more on preparations for the funeral on Thursday. Mike.
Val, I got to tell you, it has been remarkable to see all of these people lined up, snaking around the Vatican. And right now, we understand that people were lining up at 5:30 this morning. That's 90 minutes before the gates to St. Peter's Basilica even open. So many people from around the world coming here to say their final goodbyes. For the second day inside St. Peter's Basilica, his head rests on a crimson pillow, his hands clasp a rosary around his fingers. The body of Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI lies in state.
And it's kind of upsetting that with just recent events on what happened to the Pope, but we're here, we're paying our respects.
As final preparations are underway for his funeral mass this morning, we're learning new details. And I wanted to show you where the service will take place for Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI. You see all the chairs have been set up right inside St. Peter's Square. Pope Francis will be presiding over this service. After it's over, the body of the former Pope will be buried immediately in the crypt of the grotto under the Basilica, where more than 90 popes have been laid to rest.
He was a wonderful man and appreciated his pontificate.
The 95-year-old former pontiff served 8 years before stepping down in 2013, citing his health, becoming the first pope to step down since the 1400s. Criticized for how he handled the sex abuse scandal that's rocked the church, was also a conservative icon. Monday, a river of 65,000 mourners flowed through the Vatican to say a final goodbye.
It's really quite astonishing, I would say, because you get that feeling of mourning, but you also get the sense of like hope and seeing that everybody comes around and knows that they're paying their respects.
And just moments ago, the Vatican releasing new numbers. Between yesterday and today, more than 100,000 people have passed through St. Peter's Basilica. Later today, we expect to learn more about the liturgy of the funeral mass, which is set for Thursday. Val?
All right, Mike, thank you. Well, there has been a steady line of mourners paying their respects today to soccer great Pele. His funeral is later today in Brazil. Pele died Thursday at the age of 82 after a battle with cancer. He was the only player ever to win 3 World Cups. Coming up, the big money on the line for the first Mega Millions jackpot drawing of the year.
Eyewitness News streaming at 7 continues after a break.
A bald eagle is recovering this morning after a rescue captured on video on New Year's Day.
Yeah, so the bird was hurt and stranded on a piece of ice in Lake County, Illinois, and that's when a volunteer group answered the call for help. Jim Tabinski is a veteran volunteer bird rescuer. He's worked with Chicago bird collision monitors for years, but the call he got on Sunday was a new one.
I've rescued hundreds and hundreds of birds, but never a bald eagle.
And this rescue was risky.
The bird with their talons and beak could really do some damage. And obviously when a person gets close, they're going to be terrified.
Bird watchers reached out to the rescue group when they spotted this bald eagle floating on a single piece of ice in Waukegan Harbor.
The bird looked really miserable. I mean, it was wet. bedraggled. And when I got there, it didn't move at all. From the time I saw it till the time they got it in the net, I didn't even see it blink its eyes.
Tabinski, a longtime kayak racer, used the technique he learned from whitewater rafting to push the ice and the Eagle to shore.
I got my bow up on the ice a little bit, and then just very slowly, hoping not to dislodge the bird, paddled it all the way. It was on the opposite side of the harbor from where the people were, so I had to paddle it all the way across.
And that's where other volunteers stepped in.
We went and got some nets with very long handles and managed to scoop the bird up.
The Eagle was taken to Willowbrook Wildlife Center in Glen Ellen. It's now being nursed back to health.
He's eating, sitting up, looking 100% better than yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible.
It is. It's awesome. Look at what happens when you take an animal out of the cold, give him a little food, get him nice and warm.
Right, he was
brand new animal.
He wasn't feeling well.
Yeah.
He needed a little TLC.
Not having a good day. Rescuers suspect the bald eagle may have gotten sick from ingesting rat poison secondhand from its prey.
Yeah, and the Chicago Bird Coalition monitors rescued 5,000 birds in 2022, and this was the group's first rescue of 2023.
Nicely done. The first Mega Millions drawing of the new year is tonight, and it's a big one. The jackpot is an estimated $785 million. There have been 22 straight drawings without a winner.
I'm
right?
just
Thinking of what you would do.
Yeah, just taking it in. But while I'm doing that, I want to remind you that the Great Chicago Blood Drive is next week. You can donate at several different locations on January 11th and the 12th. Head to our website for more information on where you can give and how to make that appointment. That is super important
it's
too.
It's really important.
So.
Yeah. We'll talk about it another time, but if you win the lottery, do you keep your day job? Think about it. You don't need to.
I don't need to think. I don't need to
Don't even
think
think. Right.
Yeah.
We're going to link up with everybody that's watching Good Morning America right now. I'm going to have a news update on TV, and you'll see it here in just a bit.
I can show you better than I can tell you. And then when we come back, a Chicago woman has something to dance about this morning. It's not the lottery just yet. That's going to be me tomorrow. We'll be right back.
Now, an update from ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Good morning, everybody. 7:23. I'm Terrell Brown. In just about an hour and a half from now, hundreds of Howard Brown healthcare workers are planning to begin a 3-day strike. Workers say that they are protesting over what they call unfair labor practices. Howard Brown Health is reportedly reducing its workforce to close to a $12 million revenue shortfall. Union members say the LGBTQ plus focused health organization is already short-staffed, and the cuts will further compromise care for those who most need it. Howard Brown Health says that the cuts are needed to make sure that they continue service and the service that they have been giving for decades. Let's talk about the weather, see how things are shaping up. Tracy, had a lot of rain move through overnight.
We sure did, Terrell. I mean, some areas have picked up well over 3/4 of an inch of rain. And we're not quite done yet. We have another little area of rain that is just headed right towards Chicago. If you're in Addison right now, if you're in West Chicago, you are getting some of that additional rain. Currently 40 at O'Hare, 42 at Midway, 41 in Gary. So the good news is we don't have worries about icy conditions this morning. Now this afternoon, I do expect some additional showers and some fog too. We'll take a break, Roz, after this.
Now's the time for a healthy start. So let's move. Let's rest and recharge. And put our health first. Let's be well. To do that, let's eat well. Breathe deep. Find joy in the little moments. And do what we love with who we love. Together, let's live well. Advocate Aurora Health.
Welcome back, everybody. We start with a CTA delay on the red line for 95th Street bound trains. They're delayed at the Morris station. They had a train with a mechanical issue, so they've been standing there for a little while. You may need a little extra time if you're taking the red line. On the expressways, honestly, it is not that bad. The rains were heavier earlier. Right now, we're looking at average travel times about 35 minutes. It's 40 minutes in on the Stevenson, so that's pretty slow. And then, of course, we can take a look at our Rosemont camera. There's I-90. It's looking good. There's the Tri-State.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Live look outside. We've got the rain, we got the clouds. It's going to be one of those days.
And you
today.
said we gave ourselves permission to what? Take a nap today? What was
it's Festival of Sleep Day.
Festival of Sleep.
Not just take a nap, climb into your PJs.
In the middle of the day, huh?
Yeah, then get into the bed. It's a perfect day for that,
Not
too.
for the couch, just straight to the bed.
Straight to the bed, yeah.
All right.
And a perfect day for this, too. Something to dance about.
So whether it's a new job, a graduation, birthday, vacation, or you just like to dance this morning, we are featuring one of your dancing videos.
Yep, we've got Tanya Nieta right here from Chicago. Let's have a look.
Okay, she was
right.
She was, come on, Tanya,
Slow
it's
start,
your birthday,
there
right?
it is.
And she was celebrating her birthday at her pastor's party. Pastor Hannah, shout out to Pastor Hannah.
Oh, yeah, hey,
and
Pastor.
but this is her dancing to some good old Chicago house music. But she was too cute.
I was about to say that was the
That's
church.
A cute dance.
That's when when the pastor's in the room. That's the church. That's the dance that you do right there.
Right, PG.
Yeah.
All right, well, we want to see more of your video, so grab your phone right there. You see that QR code on your screen, scan it.
Yep, then upload your video. Make sure the music's playing in the background. We got everything else you need to know right there. And if your video's chosen, you can be like Tanya right there and dance it up right here on the morning show.
That's all right. Coming up this morning, the shocking scene that played out on Monday Night Football. We've been talking about it all morning long. We're going to have the very latest on how Bill safety Damar Hamlin is doing this morning.
And why some 400 healthcare workers say they will go on strike today.
You're watching ABC7 Eyewitness News at 7, streaming live now.
Let's take a quick look at some of the stories that we're going to be watching for you today. We hope to learn more about the condition of Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin. The 24-year-old went into cardiac arrest following a hit in a game against the Bengals last night. At last word, he was in critical condition, and we will have more updates on Hamlin's condition on air and online at ABC7Chicago.com.
Today, hundreds of workers are set to strike at Howard Brown Health, one of Chicago's largest LGBTQ health providers. They plan to hit the picket line for 3 days over what they call unfair labor practices. Howard Brown Health says that it respects the right of its workforce to strike, adding it'll, quote, continue to provide patient care and services regardless of the strike.
And a special salute this morning to a longtime educator. Christine Sobek is retiring as president of Waubonsee Community College. Later today, Aurora Mayor Richard Irvin and the Aurora City Council will honor her. Sobek has served more than 33 years at Waubonsee Community College. More than 21 of those years was as the college's president.
All right.
Congratulations to you going off into retirement at the beginning of 2023. All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. I'm Val Warner.
And I'm Terrell Brown. Let's go outside, see what's going on this morning. Back to that picture we were just talking about. So Tracy, is this the kind of day we're looking at here?
Yeah, it really is kind of gloomy looking. I mean, I think we're done with heavy rain for the day. Unless you're south of Kankakee, you still can get maybe an isolated storm this afternoon. But we do still have generally light to moderate rain here in Chicago. We're about to get some additional light rain in this direction. And then out to the west, we're still getting rain toward Naperville, even into Aurora, up toward Woodstock and Waukegan too. Right now, 38 degrees in Waukegan, 41 in Gary, 44 right now in Peatone, and 43 currently in Morris. So what's going to happen is we're going to get another little batch of rain here, the one that's in the area right now. That will taper off, and then we start to get some fog out and about later morning. And then as you see during the afternoon, probably early afternoon, some additional rain comes back. Roz?
You know, things could be a whole lot worse out there on the expressways. I'm looking at average travel times of about 25 minutes between the tri-state and downtown, which is nothing at 7:30 in the morning. Now, it's a little heavier on the inbound Stevenson. It's about 38, 39 minutes there from the tri-state to DuSable Lakeshore Drive. But even the Dan Ryan is only 20 minutes. I've got some big old raindrops on the camera there. But here's our White Sox cam, and look at this. Traffic moving very well around 31st Street. We can take a look at a couple tollway cameras. We start the tri-state tollway right around Balmoral. Looks great in the entire O'Hare corridor. And here's I-88 at York Road as you make your way to the tri-state. No volume there. Everybody's behaving. The road is still a little wet, a little damp, but at least the heavier rains, for the most part, have stopped. Val and Terrell.
All right, Roz, good news. Okay, we'll see you in a little bit. In the meantime, let's get to today's talkers. And how many times have you said these things? I'm going to eat better in the new year. I'm going to exercise more in the new year. I'm going to save some money. We've got a list of the most popular New Year's resolutions. This list was done by Statista.com. 52% said they want to exercise more. I'm in that category right there.
Okay.
Half said they want to eat healthier.
You're not in that category.
Yeah,
you do that
right.
year-round, which is admirable.
Yeah, oh, thank you, dear. Appreciate it. 40% of those polled want to lose weight. 39% want to save more money. Do you have anything in this list that?
You know, every year I'm probably the first three. I'm not going to do it this year.
Yeah?
No, I'm going to give myself grace this year.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm going to give myself a little grace. In fact, I'm hungrier at the beginning of the year than I have been in past years. I just want to eat. You said it's Festival of Sleep. Can it be Festival of Eat and Sleep? I'm going to start out the year. Then, you know, I'll get on board. You know what? Because everybody's at the gym right now. So
Everybody
I'm going to let all of them go
Yep.
to the gym. I'm going to get on board about 2 or 3 weeks in.
Later, yeah.
I'm still in the holiday spirit.
Me? I thought I was the only one.
No, I still feel like I want to have feasts and friends.
Bread
and
you know.
Beverages.
Cookies.
Yep,
Cookies.
sweets.
I had some pound cake, Tracy. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, did it have the whipped cream on top and the strawberries?
No, you don't. I don't want any of that.
Oh, it was that good. You didn't even need all that.
Didn't even need it, Roz. It was a piece a day. I've had a piece a day in the whole year. Today's January 3rd.
Yeah,
I had a
you had
piece January 1st, January 2nd. I'm gonna have a piece January 3rd.
Well, that's your New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
So keep eating pound cake. Yeah, that's right.
Well, we do want to mention that those surveyed were able to pick up multiple goals, meaning the total percentage is higher than 100%. So, okay, I've done enough talking. Are you guys doing any resolutions this year?
Roz, go ahead. You could go.
Trying. I mean, you know, the biggest thing for me is stress. So I just have to really take a step back and think before I react.
Okay. So like managing your stress?
Yeah.
And you don't seem stressful to me, Roz.
Well, not here. Then I go home and I'm going crazy. So
You only let certain people see the crazy.
Yeah,
That's how you do it.
But you know what, Roz, you are so right, because we are nice at work, but how is it that our family, the ones we love the most,
I know, right?
end up getting it the most?
Yeah, the worst of it. Right, exactly. It's just how it goes.
It is.
Tracy, anything for you?
Well, first of all, I will say in the past week, I've probably eaten 3 dozen cookies myself.
Thank you. Don't let me feel alone.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I love cookies so much. I make the same resolution every year, and that is to try and do something nice for somebody every day, like just even a little tiny thing. I try really hard to stick to that, and that's my resolution yet again this year.
Wow.
Easy for you.
And she did this. Can I say that you did it this morning?
I did?
Yes, you did. You didn't realize you did it by 7:30 this morning. You came and gave T some lotion so he won't
I did.
You did.
That's
See,
right.
you forgot. You're such. So that's not even a resolution for you.
Yep.
That's
It
just
just
who
happens
you are.
naturally, right.
Yeah.
Exactly, yes.
Now, bring me my nuts.
I have a bag for you.
Are they under the heater back there, nice and warm? Ooh, that sounds good.
She really does
Yes,
practice
exactly.
this. This is not something. When I got to this shift, I'm still the newbie, even though you guys were almost a year we've been together, but I still consider myself a newbie. One day I must have mentioned that I like crossword puzzles.
Yeah.
Puzzles, the word search puzzles, excuse me. And in my work bag, I went in for something else and I see these puzzles, cute little box of puzzles and a note. And it was from Tracy. She said, I hear you like these. And I saw them and I was like, how thoughtful is that? So, Tracy, get a New Year's resolution. Get a new one.
Right.
You already do that.
this
You're already
one.
too sweet.
Just bring Trixie back more often. You'll get nothing.
More Trixie. More Trixie in the new year.
Ooh, that's right.
Ooh.
Maybe.
All right. Well, now to some marriage news. Good Morning America anchor Robin Roberts announced she's going to be getting married this year. Roberts made the announcement during an interview yesterday with author Gabby Bernstein, in which they discussed the whole notion of saying yes. And Bernstein's book, Super Attractor, Methods for Manifesting a Life Beyond Your Wildest Dreams. She asked Roberts what she was willing to say yes to in 2023.
So this new year, what are you a yes for?
Saying yes to marriage. I'm saying yes to marriage. We're getting married this year.
Yes, okay,
And it's something
beautiful.
we have talked about, but we had put it off.
Yeah, she goes on to talk about, because Amber was diagnosed with breast cancer at the end of her longtime partner in the end of 2021. So Roberts will be marrying her girlfriend Amber this year. She's saying yes to marriage.
Saying yes to marriage.
So then now we have to go around the table and say what we're going to say yes to this year. Have we given it any thought, T?
No.
No? Oh, you gonna say no to?
I don't think I'm gonna start saying no to things. Right. Honestly, that's what I need to do.
So that's okay. I'm gonna write that book.
Right.
How to say no.
No. Exactly.
Saying
I think I'm
no.
saying yes too much to too many things. That's kind of my problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're onto something.
No, I think so. It's gonna be to everybody. No. Ask me to do something. No. Work. No.
Pharrell, could you?
What about you, Roz?
I am totally on board with you, because it is very difficult for me to say no when people ask me, can you MC this? Can you do this? Can you do this? And with our hours, we go to sleep really early. And if something happens during the middle of the week and you have to stay up till 10 or 11 o'clock at night, can't do it.
Yeah.
And I feel so guilty saying no. But you have to sometimes.
Yep.
I know. You feel honored to be asked, so you don't want to disappoint.
Oh,
And
totally.
it's our business. Like we thank you and owe you for, watching us every single day. So we want to pay that back and be available to folks. But I think, Raj, you are so right, and we are all in that boat. I'm guilty of that too. And it's gonna be more saying no. But in terms of saying yes, what I want to say yes to this year. Tracy?
It's hard.
Yes to more cooking?
More cooking?
Yes, more cooking, like
I
you
don't
did
think
at the end of last year.
That.
But your pot roast was good, right?
Yeah, I liked it. I don't think anybody else did.
Yeah.
I know. Just yesterday, I thought I made this great meal, and they're like, "Oh, it's so dry."
Oh, is it? What did you make?
I made honey barbecue chicken thighs.
Oh,
that sounds
you
good.
That
I don't know,
can't be
can you
dry.
mess that
That's
up?
impossible.
It was impossible.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? You are all not. I'm not making anything tomorrow. My husband's like, Oh, yeah, that's just a fake. I'm like, no, I am not making anything. I'm
Kitchen's
done.
closed.
You're boycotting.
That's right.
Yeah, you're going to protest. I think I will say yes to a little bit more time in the kitchen. A little bit more time in the kitchen. And I want to say yes to more traveling.
That sounds like a resolution.
I say I want
like that.
to.
Oh, okay.
You know, doing it and
Is
wanting
totally
to is,
different thing.
executing is a different thing. So.
Yeah, got all kinds of things that we're hoping for and wishing for.
We got some say no's.
Got some say
Well,
yeses.
we got a lot of say no's. Honestly, we got 4 say no's. So don't ask us to do any events this year. Kidding.
I need to say yes to spending more time with my fur babies.
Amen to that too.
You know, I come home and I'm so busy, and they just kind of look at me with those puppy dog eyes.
Mine too. I get it.
Gotta play with them.
Say yes to the fur baby.
Things to think about in 2023. Of course, health and happiness, paramount among them all. ABC7 Eyewitness News streaming out loud. We'll take a quick break. We're back with more in 90 seconds.
Hello there, happy Tuesday to you, and we have rain, and it's coming back. Now, it's not heavy, it's more annoying than anything else. It's starting to rain here in the city yet again. Light to moderate rain extends out toward Naperville into Bloomingdale, Addison, Roselle. Right now, you're getting rain. Those of you in Marengo and then up to Hebron, yeah, not much going on there, but you do get into Elburn and DeKalb, and you do have additional rain there. Since midnight, look at Midway. Over 9/10 of an inch of rain there, just a little over 3/4 of an inch in Aurora. I'll get more rainfall totals a little bit later this morning from the Weather Service. But as you look at the chances of rain through the day today, you kind of see they're up, they're down, they're back up. So this is going to be a day where we get off and on rain. Most of it's going to be very light. Some of it's just going to be a little drizzly. And then I also anticipate some fog. There is a very large tornado watch. Does not include us at all, but well off to the south. This is a severe weather maker around the country today. For us, big range of temperatures is expected across the area today as well. Right now, out at O'Hare, we're at 41 degrees, and yes, it's raining. Roz?
Well, they've corrected things on the Red Line. We had some delays for 95th Street bound trains. Train with a mechanical issue at the Morris station, so that's been taken care of. The trains are on the move with residual delays. The delays on the expressways are averaging about 30 minutes inbound between the tri-state and downtown. Stevenson is closer to 40. And a couple of suburban things. Now, we had these traffic lights malfunctioning in the Willowbrook area for a long time, hours, at 63rd Street and Route 83. They finally fixed them, so those big delays on northbound 83 are gone, thankfully. But now we've got a stall blocking a lane up in Lake Zurich. It's on southbound Rand Road, US 12 at Miller, and we were seeing about a 1 mile backup for southbound traffic approaching that intersection. So you may want to avoid it until they can get that out of there and cleared up. Val and Terrell.
All right, Roz, thank you. Tennis champion Martina Navratilova is battling throat and breast cancer. She made the announcement in a statement saying she's hoping for favorable outcomes. She also says both cancers are in the early stages, and she starts treatment later this month.
I want to get to new details this morning on how actor Jeremy Renner is doing.
He was critically injured while plowing snow. Here's ABC's Andrea Fujii.
This morning, actor Jeremy Renner is recovering after suffering serious injuries during an accident involving a snowplow near his home in Reno, Nevada. Overnight, the two-time Oscar nominee's publicist saying that Renner suffered blunt chest trauma and orthopedic injuries and has undergone surgery. He has returned from surgery and remains in the intensive care unit in critical but stable condition.
Trichomatous fires on scene. Subject's currently breathing. Care flights overhead.
TMZ quoted witnesses saying Renner's leg was caught under a snowplow while trying to clear the path in front of his home on New Year's Day. Reports claiming there may have been an issue with the plow's safety features, causing it to roll over his leg. A doctor who lives nearby ran into action, placing a tourniquet on Renner to stop the bleeding until medical professionals arrived. The actor was then airlifted by helicopter to a nearby hospital. Through a publicist, Renner's family saying they would like to express their gratitude to the incredible doctors and nurses looking after him, adding that they are tremendously overwhelmed and appreciative of the outpouring of love and support from his fans. Just last week, Renner shared videos of this large snowplow and last month posted this image saying Lake Tahoe snowfall is no joke. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
Man, scary situation
It
right
is,
there.
and I think a lot of us are wondering how it happened and what exactly happened.
Yeah.
So, of course, thinking about him and hope he can
well.
make the turnaround. Yeah, do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're going to be right back with more news coming up in 90 seconds.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Take a look at the screen right here. Rolling Stone magazine has released the top 200 greatest singers of all time. This is just the top 4. Number 1 of this updated list, Aretha Franklin. Then, of course, Whitney Houston, Sam Cooke, and then Billie Holiday. But some fans, though, are lighting up social media because there's one person, one big name that's not on the list. Celine Dion did not make the cut. Celine is in good company, though. Diana Ross, Sting, Dionne Warwick were also not included on that list. Of all time, right? So, gosh, I was thinking of one right now that I just forgot. I wonder if like Jennifer Hudson was on there. Like Mariah Carey, I wonder if she's on there.
Yeah, I started scrolling through it earlier in a commercial break, and Alicia Keys was on it, SZA was on it, Brandy was on it. So I got to say. Now, granted, the list started from the 200, so I got from 200 to 165 because it was like a long list to scroll through. But when I saw Brandy's name, I'm like, click. So with that being said, the people, Mariah Carey has to be
better be on that list.
She has to be on there. She's number 5.
Oh.
Now, are we surprised that Aretha Franklin was
Number 1
versus Whitney?
I am.
I know Aretha Franklin's the queen of soul.
Soul, right. But I can't, has there ever been a better singer
than Whitney
Houston? And I can't answer that question. I mean, I don't know, pre-Whitney Houston and pre-Whitney Houston's day, did Aretha Franklin light it up like Whitney did? during her time? I don't know.
I mean, we just said the people excluded would be Diana Ross, Dionne Warwick. So, like, when I think of Aretha, she's in that class.
I agree.
So, I don't know. Like, it's hard. Whitney Houston was in a class of her own.
Yeah.
Just like Barbara Walters, not to get off topic, but I highly recommend that you watch the ABC special, Our Barbara. Fantastic. It just goes to show you she is in a league of her own, just like Whitney Houston's in a league of her own. So why she got two, I don't know. All right, so it looks like Cher rang in the new year with some bling.
Hello.
The 76-year-old singer and actress tweeted a picture with her boyfriend, Alexander A.E. Edward, and a diamond ring, but she wasn't wearing the ring on her ring finger. The photo was captioned, unless I saw it wrong, "Happy New Year, Daddy." The engagement rumors are now spreading since in a previous post, Cher said the ring was a gift from Edwards. The Grammy and Oscar winner and 36-year-old music executive have been dating since the fall.
So I just want to ask.
Say it.
76, right?
Say it. Just say it.
He's 36.
That's 40 years.
What
do they have in common?
What do they have? What's the appeal for both of them? Her, him, and him, her. I just wonder what they talk about when they get together. I wonder is there any talking? Anyway. We'll move on. We'll take a quick break.
I'm not ready to go to break.
Now, fair enough, you made a statement earlier. If it were a man who did the same thing and it were a younger woman, we wouldn't ask any of these questions.
No.
Great point.
But I mean, it's true, and you do kind of wonder. But,
I wonder what that's like behind closed doors.
I'm going to drink this hot tea instead of giving some tea. We'll be right back.
Eyewitness News streaming at 7 continues after a break.
We were just talking about age
and what's old.
And what's old.
Yeah.
In relation to our last conversation that we were having with you about what's old, 36, 76, what's old? Maybe they're at the same level.
Maturity and thought and conversation.
In
Anyway.
other ways.
In other ways, right.
Welcome back, everybody.
Before we go, have you seen this dance battle? A dance battle between a teacher and a student.
Well, students at a Florida school challenged theirs to a dance-off between exams last week, and the video has since gone viral. Let's take a look. He did.
Uh-oh, so you know she gonna come with it. Oh, hey. Get it. She is not playing either.
Not at all.
That's Yolanda Turner right there. I just gotta watch her finish. Oh!
She dropped the mic on them.
That's what I'm talking about.
Let these youngsters embarrass us.
That's right. Putting it down. I love that. And that's going to do it for us. We're going
This hour's over already?
I know, right? Well, time flies when you're having a good time. For Tracy and Roz, I'm Terrell Brown.
I'm Val. We'll see you later.
This has been Eyewitness News, streaming at 7. Now, an update from ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Good morning, everybody. 7:56. I'm Terrell Brown. Chicago police are looking for the driver who hit and killed a man on the city's south side. Happened just after 10 o'clock last night near 79th and Lafayette. Police say the man was in the crosswalk when he was hit by a white 2013 Dodge Durango. He was pronounced dead there. Police say 4 to 5 males jumped out of the car and then ran away. So far this morning, we're not hearing of any arrests. Hang on, we'll check weather and traffic coming up next.